Hi there, my name's Daryl and welcome again to The Check-In. This week I'm joined by Dan, Kelly and Sean, and it's a good one this week. We're going to be talking about some of the very best bars from around the world. Right, we all love a good night out and we all love a good bar. So we're going to hopefully give you some ideas about where to go if you're off travelling around the globe, and we're going to start with Daniel.
Hello, thanks for that. One of the first places I want to talk about, again, I suppose not a destination you typically think for bars, but it's in Iceland. It's Northern Lights Bar. I know it's because my missus is obsessed with going to see the Northern Lights, so this is something we've previously researched going to. There's a bar called the Northern Lights Bar, which it's about an hour outside Reykjavik, and it sort of jettisons out of like a cliff face out of a hillside over a valley. But the whole thing is like made of glass, and obviously the idea of that setup is to take advantage of the beautiful skies they've got there, which I think is a nice touch. Quite often with bars, you're stuck in a dark room somewhere, so I think it's nice to take advantage of the surroundings there. One of the second places I want to talk about as well is, again, a little bit unknown, but it's the Red Sea Bar in Israel. And I know Israel, again, probably not a place you'd think of just going for a drink, but if you're ever out there, this bar is actually underground. That goes into the Red Sea. So you've got all like the corals and stuff up against the window, and it's just full of fish. Basically, it's like you're in a big aquarium, but obviously you're outside still. So I think that's a really cool feature to have. Again, just a great use of taking advantage of the environment that they're in, as opposed to just being a sort of a brick building somewhere with a beer tap. So it sounds quite interesting places to go.
Yeah, always good to have something good to look at, I guess, if a bar's got something unique to offer. I've been to some good bars throughout Europe, but ones without glamour, but ones that are pretty good. Anyone who likes their beer, you'll like Belgium, and you'll have been to Bruges, probably my favourite place to go on holiday, simply because of the beer selection. But great pub there called De Hara, spelt with a G. You know what they're like. And their house beer that they serve out there, each one comes with a free bowl of cheese. I mean, what's not to like there? It's a really rickety 4-storey tall bar. Everything's really close. There's money on the ceiling. Brilliant. Anyway, not as exotic as Dan's, but I just like my beer. Kelly, I think I know where you're going to take us.
Actually, I'm going to stick close to home this time. Oh. I'll probably go to your hot destination next, though. So you don't have to go outside of England, or indeed, if you're living in London, outside of London for some good bars. One of my favourites is called Archer Street Bar, and it's in London. It's just off Piccadilly Circus, so yeah, it is a bit of a tourist trap. But this bar is a little bit different. It's really nice. It's gorgeous interior. It's got a club downstairs if you fancy staying there for the whole day. But what it is that they hire West End actors and actresses. So they've got a DJ and the music is fantastic. But every now and again, the bar staff and the wait staff will actually kind of cut the DJ off, get up on the table and start belting out songs. And they're, hot 40 hits, but there's also some really old school ones that they kind of come out with. There's songs from the theatre musicals that they're working in at the time. Now, it's not kind of like a karaoke bar because, like I said, the interiors are really lush. It's a really nice place to go, particularly actually a great date venue as well. But it's a really nice bar. Anytime I've brought some people there that have been visiting London, they've always been like, great spot, really different. So definitely one I'd recommend.
Nice. I'll be sticking that one on my list. Sean, you've had some fairly entertaining stories for us over the weeks. No doubt you're going to drag us off to some Transylvanian dungeon somewhere.
No, I'm going to keep it in Germany for this one, in Berlin. It's called Monkey Bar. It sits in a shopping centre, a 2-storey shopping centre, which backs onto the Berlin Zoo. So it's sort of like a layout, so flat layout benches with some cushions on it, which overlooks through bay windows of monkey enclosure in the zoo. So you can just watch some monkeys monkeying around as you have some drinks. It's an exciting place to be.
Just chimping around. Chimping around. Fantastic. I wasn't expecting that. Dan,
okay,
more for us.
Yeah, definitely got more. Bit of a weird one, but again, sort of themed. Again, not environment-based, but something called the Clinic Bar in Singapore. And it is a particularly odd theme to go with, but it's hospital-themed. So they do things like all the chairs are basically wheelchairs. They serve drinks in IV bags and things like that. So it's, again, not going to be everyone's taste, but if you're after something just a bit quirky, a bit out there, and you happen to be in Singapore, then that's definitely the one thing that I would be interested in seeing in operation. And the way that they talk is like you're being addressed by a doctor. It's like you've got symptoms or illness, or they're diagnosing you for what drinks to serve you. So I do like the idea of that experience just out of intrigue more than anything.
Yeah, I did wonder what sort of clinic you were talking about there for a minute, whether it was from a personal experience, but we'll leave that there. Maybe a bit more traditional, but if anyone's ever been to Munich, again a little bit of a tourist trap, but it is a cracking night out. It's the Hofbrauhaus in Munich. It's everything. It's bells and whistles, Bavaria. It's people dancing on the tables, people with whips. You sit at your tables, steins being brought to you. You don't have to stand up and go and get beer. The saltiest meatballs you've ever eaten in your life. It's everything that's good about Germany in one place. And it's just a rollicking good time. So if you're in Munich, I would suggest getting yourself a seat at the Hofbrauhaus. Kelly, are we going to Ireland?
Yeah, of course. This isn't actually a bar with a theme or anything else. It just strips it back to bare basics. So if you're in Dublin and you want that traditional, I suppose at home we call them old man pubs. Exactly. You're just going there. You want some good Guinness. It's called Grogan's. It's about a street or two back from Grafton Street, just behind the Powerscourt Centre. It's unbelievable. It's probably hasn't been touched since the day it opened. Looks exactly the same. It's not glamorous, but you will go in there. You'll see locals. People will potentially start playing trad music if they've got music with them. It's just chit chat. If you want something to eat, all they'll be able to give you is a toastie. They've got a random toastie maker behind the bar, and the Guinness is fantastic.
What more could you want? Pint of Guinness and a cheese toastie. Sean, is there anything more to get out of a bar?
Yeah, so in Romania, North Romania, there's a place called... We're going, yeah. So in Romania, there's a place called Cluj-Napoca, which is in the north, and it has a little pub, like Quirky Pub, which is sort of steampunk theme, and it's called Job and Bistro, and it's just like really nice. Like the ceiling is like a blimp, old school Zeppelin, and they sort of have it in big steins and stuff. It's quite a nice place to go. But if you don't want to go as far as Romania, go closer to home in Amsterdam. If you've been to Amsterdam, you probably will have gone to the Heineken Museum, and in there's like a really nice bar. You get 2 free drinks if you've been around the museum, so I think that's a nice place to go as well.
I've actually been myself. It's pretty good as well. Well, hopefully some good options if you're travelling around the world or Europe, or I think Europe's in the world these days. So whatever you're doing, cheers, bottoms up, and we'll see you again next time on The Check-In.